I welcome everyone to Excellerbooks author interview session. I am Tanisha and I will be hosting this session. I am thrilled to have Ms.
Yes.
Catherine Bosibori with us, the author of the intriguing book Silent Crimes in Life. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us today and give your time with us. And before diving right into the interview, I would like to speak briefly about you and your book. So, Catherine Bosibori is an accomplished Kenyan author brings her extensive expertise as a experienced English and Kiswahili teacher across all educational levels. With a keen eye as an examination setter and a marker, she ventures into the world of fiction and her debut novel, Silent Crimes in Love. In the book, published by Exceller Books, she speaks about the love story with Eliza, a slum girl, evolves into a complex saga of love, poverty, money, politics, and romance, entwining their families in a battlefield. So I think by now our entire audience they have a well idea about the plot of your book and they know about it. Let's delve deeper into the author's perspective. So I would like to ask you first of all, like what inspired you to explore in this field and being a English professor or a teacher, how did you get into the writing sector? Like, how did you start writing, first of all?
I want to begin by saying thanks a lot to Exela Global Press for giving us an opportunity, people like us. It was very hard for some of us to get publishers for our books, but at least now we have where to put our head to rest. I was very happy when you accepted to publish my book, despite the fact that I had done a lot of consultation with other publishers. I was not able to succeed. Thank you, Exela. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
and God
Thank you
bless
so
you.
much. Thank
So
you so much.
to go to
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, to go to the point, I started writing when I was in class 7, but I could not write things which were expected. I think grammar and everything, the language items were below. When I went to high school, I did a bit of writing again, which I did not even succeed. But when I have been a teacher, this is when I started really venturing into writing. I have written so many, about 4 novels, which I have. I remember one which you have quoted in at the back of my book, Orphaned at Conception, which I'm waiting to publish very soon. So I was inspired into writing because a writer is always someone who cannot get away from what he has or she has in mind. I have been teaching, and it is in my line of language because I've been teaching English literature and Fasihi ya Kiswahili and Kiswahili Lugha. So I say I was inspired because of my line of work, line of my profession. That is how I came to be a writer. And what I know is that a writer is someone with classic creativity in the head, very observant all the time, watching what people do, looking at actions of people. And from there, you create a very good, imaginative kind of life in someone. If you are a writer, or when you are a writer, you are very observant, you are a good listener, you are very imaginative, you are creative, and above all, being very, very interactive with all people of all ages. And that is what I am. I interact with the young, the old, the medium, and it has helped me to come up with something which I can say is creativity, which can help others improve or come up with writing. Um, Another thing which I say is that when you are a writer, or me as a writer, I really find myself all the time quoting things which I see people do, observing what they do, and I put them together into items of writing. That is how I came up with that book. Yeah.
That's great, actually, and thank you for your answer.
And
Uh,
that is what inspired how I.
yeah, what inspired you to write? Indeed, yeah, that's great, basically. So, you were like what? And my next question to you is that the theme of the social class and the consciousness of wealth and poverty disparities in your novel. Like, how do you see this thing?
Yes, I'll tell you what inspired
Hmm.
me into this social
Hmm.
writing.
Yeah.
When I was teaching, or as I've been teaching, I realized that the girl child goes through very difficult times.
Hmm.
Girls are always misled. Girls are always given false hope, false, false promises. And these, some of them are very clever children. They are very clever girls in school, but they end up dropping out because of that idea, the wrong ideas they are
Hmm.
given.
Hmm.
And then some of our parents, or some of us parents, we are not really out there to help our children to tell them the truth. These myths whereby we believe if you tell your girl this and that, it is wrong, is what is destroying our society. So when I ventured into writing this book of social, I just wanted the youth to realize that where they think they have reached, there is still a distance to go. Sometimes they think they have arrived at a certain point whereby things have settled, but not yet. What comes after that becomes a nightmare to their lives. So I just wanted to write this story. I wanted my young generation to read and look at how things go and how they change almost immediately, destroying their lives. Our present generation is being destroyed or damaged by drugs. In my book, I have diverged into that. I talk about drugs, how they destroy lives, how they destroy education. Even those who have had good education, they become useless
Hmm.
after that
Hmm.
just because of wrong decisions
Right.
and daring making decisions.
Absolutely.
That is what really inspired me into writing. Yeah.
Great, actually, and thank you so much for your answer. And it's really true. And despite to the fact that we are living in
Mhm.
this modern century, but still there is always a disparities between this gender thing.
Yeah.
Like the gender roles are always differentiated based on which gender we are born with. So taking the fact from there, you are absolutely right on that. So, your book,
Mhm.
Silent Crimes in Love, seems to be delved into the complex relationship and
Yeah.
betrayal that which you were just talking about. So, can you please share some of the insight into how you develop the intrigue, wave of vigilance, which like with which enhance scams and lies within the story?
The theme of this book is just to show how money has destroyed wealth.
Hmm.
That wealth disparity.
Hmm.
Children, homes, families with a lot of money, which parents have made even their children to think that by giving them a lot of money,
Hmm.
they have solved their problems.
Hmm.
But that is far from the truth. Always money destroys the children because they find themselves doing things which are which are destroying their lives because they have that money freedom. They
Hmm.
can go anywhere, they can buy anything, they can even be able to do anything to others. So when I felt the theme for my book was that it is just to have our youth to know that the money they have is for short term, but the long term is their lives, how they drive it.
Hmm.
If they drive their life in a good direction, there is life after that. But
Okay.
if they just rush into what the others are doing, Also in the idea of peer groups, whereby peer groups are pulling the others, they are taking themselves, oh, let us do this. One has to have his or her own decision, and one has to be decisive on what to do. So in my story, it is helping a lot to the youth to know
Absolutely.
that to have your personal stand, to have your own decision on what you're doing is very important. That is what I in fact wanted to interpret into this the lives of our youth. My main concern is our youth. Our youth are going to be finished. In future generation, we might have some people missing. We might have a generation which is not there. So we are trying all means to help our youth to know what is better for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's very true. Based on the title of your book, Silent Crimes in Life, is very intriguing book, and you have written it in a very wonderful tone, and that is much appreciated to you, ma'am. So, how does this concept of a silent play in the role in the narrative, basically, and what message you were trying to convey through it?
Something has not been done in the right way, it is a crime. So when a crime has been committed, when a crime has been committed to somebody, we always seek for legal redress. But there are some crimes which are done to people, and people even don't realize that they have done criminal activities. When I look at the my story, when I look at how that girl is left in the hospital, in an hospital bed, very pregnant, and the person who is leaving her on the bed is the person who is responsible for the pregnancy.
Right.
She is just left there to die. That's a crime in itself. But who will address the crime? It becomes silent. She has to struggle on her own to come out of the hospital and deal with her life after that. When you look at what the others are doing, like now when you see how Patricia comes in, Patricia is being not told the truth. She's being hidden from the truth and told that this girl has run away. And she's also entering into something which with crimes in it. It is also, there are so many crimes there which are not clear. Crimes which people are performing on others. When you look at how Demze is marrying this girl, that is already a crime. He is marrying in the bush, leaving his wife not knowing that he is marrying. Does the wife have a right to know what the man is doing? He's almost a criminal. But it is a crime which cannot be addressed, a crime which cannot be prosecuted. When you look at this lady Belly, the mother to Godwin, she is in the center of criminal activities which she's not even aware. She is acting from the blindness of the darkness of others. She doesn't know what is going on. And people who are doing it, they are playing a game. They are not even helping the lady to know that there are some certain things they have done in the past which are causing their squabbles in the family. So I believe it is crimes which are silent, are done by criminals who want to hide the truth. And when a crime has been done behind someone, a crime has been done where somebody cannot even defend himself, I just call them silent. They are silent inside what is clothed as love. You think you love someone, but he's doing criminal activities behind you. So
Right.
silent crimes in love is has got the concept that some crimes are done to people when they don't know even what is their right. They are even supposed to go and look for legal address. So in my book, silent crimes is the scene are all in every scene. They are in everything which is done by all the characters in my story. Everybody is participating in a crime which he or she doesn't want anyone to know. And these crimes, they get away with them. Godwin kills Chris. That is a silent crime. Nobody knows that he killed the boy. And why?
Absolutely.
Why did he kill him? Just
Mm,
because of saying he betrayed him.
mm.
Yeah. Mhm.
So true, yeah. And it's very emotional at the same time.
So, in order for us to know how things go wrong, we have
Mm,
to write stories like these ones
mm,
so that our youth can read,
mm,
everybody can read, and then you can have the tactics of knowing that these are crimes or this is the
mm.
right thing. That is what I was intending to portray or bring out.
Yeah, yeah. That's great
Yeah, I
actually.
think so.
Yeah, yeah. Right. You have portrayed in a very realistic way, and that's
Mm-hmm.
very true actually. So the plot that of your book, and it appears like the plot appears to have multiple
Yes.
marriages, and they are very complicated family situation. It can be seen in the book. So can you please discuss the significance of this marital relationship and how they impact the characters' lives?
Yes. Actually, they are. This is a complex kind of uh, relationship. In this marriage, there are so many things which are not correct. If
Mm,
you look to begin with, Godwin is just a good boy, but he is influenced by money. He marries, he promises a girl to marry, and then jumps over, marries another one.
mm,
The one who is being married is innocent. She is found in a center of conflicts which she did not even expect.
mm,
When she marries Godwin, Godwin did not tell her the truth that he had problems
mm,
or he deserted the first girl, who in fact was her best friend. So it is a complex thing because Patricia doesn't know that Godwin left the other girl.
mm,
She is told that the girl left the bar. So she comes in as a sympathizer. Eliza is a girl from a very humble family. She is promised to be married. And then, after failing to be married, she ends up marrying an old man simply because she has known that this old man is the father to the boy who left her in the hospital.
mm,
So she's not marrying for love, she's marrying for vengeance.
mm,
She wants to get to the bottom of her problems.
mm,
Why was she left in the hospital? And why was she impregnated in the first place and be deserted with a child, whereby she has gone around the world being raped, being done everything, doing a lot of activities to
mm,
make her child grow,
mm,
only to land into the father of someone who just gave her problems that she was undergoing.
mm,
So the marriage is complicated
mm,
because while the old man is thinking he has married a young girl to be happy, the young girl is marrying him because she wants to pay, to make some people pay for what they did to her. She wants some people to pay for the sins they committed.
mm,
So it becomes a bit complex there. When she comes to the family, people don't understand what she's up to,
mm,
but she understands. She knows
mm,
what she's doing. When we look at the Mzee himself, the one who has married the girl, he is marrying in the forest. How do you just go to the forest and marry a girl
mm,
without even letting the family know?
mm,
That's a complicity. Supposing the family rose up and said, "We don't want this girl," it was going to be very difficult.
mm,
But we thank God because in Africa,
mm,
people marry at will because they have the money, they have they can manage it. So so the old man is marrying because of luxury. He has the money. That's a complexity
yeah,
because
yeah.
in itself, if he is marrying a girl who is far younger than his children, it is a complicated
Mm,
thing.
mm,
You can see how the son reacts when he knows that he married a girl whom he could have married. It was total war. Despite they ran away with Elisa,
mm,
I wonder what could happen in the end when he could discover
mm,
that this girl was really a girlfriend
mm,
to the son. It
mm.
is a complicated um, issue in the relationship.
Absolutely.
And only that, only that complexities in marriages in Africa here, you find that people end up even killing each other. They just, someone decides to poison another one,
Mm.
or just sleeps into the house at night and strangles the other.
Mm.
So it was complicated. It was a round of complicated matter.
Yeah, yeah. It's very true, and it is not only limited to your novel. Like we see a lot of disturbed childhood or disturbed marriages or relationship nowadays, and it has become very normal and frequent. So I think that's a very like sad part of our life today. So, however, we are almost at the end of our
Yeah.
interview, and this is going to be the last question for you, basically. So could you please tell us about the character development in the book, particularly Godwin and the father and his father, basically, and how their choices and actions
Mhm.
contribute to the unfolding drama in the story afterward?
I could say that this idea of the character of Godwin and the father, it's just, I can say, it is a whole evil across the family, because both these characters are drowning in money. That's where the
Mm.
problem is.
Yeah.
The boy has a lot of money,
Yeah.
and that is why he is able to do anything, which is provided by the father.
Mm.
And the father is also drowning in money,
Mm.
which he has made. The
Mm.
wealth he has made, using it well
Mm.
for the welfare of his family.
Mm.
What he makes is that when people are drunk of money,
Mm.
they even do things which will affect many people.
Mm.
The character of Godwin and his father
Mm.
are just the same. They are people who make decisions which are unthought of. They don't think, they don't consult, they don't look back to see what can come out of their actions.
Mm.
They just do things because they are able and they have the money.
Mm.
I think they possess false authority in their doing of things. They want to do things because they have the power in their hands, and the power comes from money.
Mm.
And I can say they are overlooking at the women.
Mm.
They don't care what the women are going to feel or what is going to happen to them,
Absolutely, yeah.
both of them.
It's true, but it's sad at the same time. With book, or like, according to you, ma'am, according to you, which character is best? Like, according to you, because you're the creation of your book. So according to you, which character you think is it's wonderful actually?
Elisa, Elisa is correct. Elisa is doing, I believe, is correct in this book. And the character who has fallen as victim is Elisa. Elisa has done everything because of her rights,
Mm.
and she wants to save herself from evil. So Eliza is the best. She is the character I believe is right,
Mm.
and she did everything right,
Mm.
despite she might have made some people collide.
Mm.
Even during her fight with the other one, she was fighting for her right.
Mm.
I think Eliza.
Okay, great. Thank you for your time, madam. And also, I would like to just inform my audience that Ms. Catherine's books are already available on the various platforms globally, not only to Kenya or only the African countries, but it is available globally. And you can have a copy of her book from Amazon, Kindle, and Google Play. And you can see the link of her book in the description box. So whoever wants to have a copy of our book, and it's a wonderful book, I think you all should have it, and so they can
Yeah.
click it and have it from the description box basically. So and also you had, at the beginning of our conversation, you just mentioned that you have another book that you are planning to
Yeah, mom.
publish.
The book, the one I said I have written,
Hmm.
I have written even this one, Silent in Crimes. I've translated it into Kiswahili full.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I can get a publisher in Kenya to publish it. But I have written another book. I have written another book of under consumption, and that one I'll send soon to Exceller. But what I mostly wanted to say is, I want the Kenyan people of my friends, my colleagues in Kenya, my well wishers, that the copies will soon reach this country because I'm ordering some from Exceller
Okay.
so that they can be shipped into the country.
Hmm.
They can get them and know what I've written.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, ma'am, to give your time, and we had a wonderful time and interviewing you and to know more about your book, the characters that you have created. And we're really grateful to have you in the show. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
So
so much. God
yes, ma'am.
bless you.